I want you to sit with on for just a moment. If AI can do this in 2026, what happens in 2028? That question is what this entire session is built around. We are going to show you concretely and with live demos what AI already do against web applications and what that means for how you test your security today. So, without ado, let's get started. Before we dive in, a quick introduction. My name is Pratik Patel. I'm a security consultant at Cybersecurity. I've spent the last 5 years focused purely on offensive security and consulting on cybersecurity posture and strengthening it. So, here is our agenda for today. Five sections, each building on the previous one. We start with the evolution of the attacker, how we went from script kiddies to AI agents, what agentic AI really is. Then we'll move to live demos where we'll see AI versus web application, and then enterprise impact and risk analysis. And we'll close with Sudbus readiness for future. Let's go with section one. The shift from script kiddies to AI agents. Before we can understand where we are going, we need to understand where we have come from. The attacker profile has evolved dramatically over the distinct eras, and the leap we are seeing right now is by far the most significant. Let's look at this evolution across three eras. Before 2015, we were dealing with what we call script kiddies, attackers that use these pre-built tools, following online tutorials, no original thinking of themselves, and basic defenses were often enough to stop them. Between 2015 and 2024, we entered the era of automated attackers. These weren't just copycats anymore. They were writing custom automated script, chaining tools together, scheduling attack sequences, which resulted in recon getting faster and patch cycles to struggle to keep up. And then from 2024 onwards, we entered the era where we are right now, agentic AI attackers. This is different. These aren't just faster scripts. These are systems that pursue a goal, correct their own mistakes, adapt to defenses in real time, and it basically requires zero human mediation. This is not a linear evolution, it's a phase shift. So why does AI changes everything? I would frame it around three dimensions. First, speed. A human attacker takes days or weeks to move through recon, discovery, and exploitation. Whereas an AI agent collapses all of that into minutes and hours. It iterates in milliseconds, and that gap is not recoverable with traditional response times. Second, scale. A human attacker can focus on one target at a time. A single AI agent instance can simultaneously probe thousands of endpoints. No human team no human team can execute or monitor at such scale. And the third and most significant one is scale floor. Previously, a sophisticated multi-stage attack required expert knowledge and years of experience. Today, a low-skilled attacker with a goal prompt can execute those same attacks. The expertise is now in the AI, not the person. When you combine speed, scale, and skill floor, you get fundamentally a different threat landscape. Now we'll move to section two, agentic AI, why this matters for VAPT. Let's get precise about the technology because AI is one of the most overloaded words in our industry right now. Not all AI is equal, and understanding the difference is critical to understanding the threat. There are three levels of AI capability and they are not interchangeable. At the bottom, we have LLM chatbots, systems like ChatGPT answering a security question, which is reactive only, no tools, no memories, no goal driven behavior, which are useful but not a threat actor. In the middle, we have AI assistants, tools like Copilot helping write a pen test report. They assist with tasks, have some tool integrations, but they are bounded in scope and need human guidance to proceed. And at the top, this is where we are focused on today, Agentic AI. This is a system that receives a goal and pursues it autonomously. It has persistent memory across steps, full tool access, self-correcting behavior, and adaptive strategy. No human guidance required at all. When we talk about agentic AI in offensive security, we are talking about this top tier and it changes everything about how we think about attack surface. So, how does an AI agent actually work when given an offensive goal? It follows what I call an agentic reasoning loop. Six steps that run continuously under the goal until the goal is achieved or abandoned. First, it starts with decompose, breaking into subtasks. Then selects the relevant tools required to achieve each subtask. Then it executes the action on the target. Then analyze reading and interpreting the server's response. Then we have evaluate, which determines that we got a success or failure. And if it failed, adapt the strategy and try again. This runs without pause, no sleep, no distractions, no fatigue. It's pure goal pursuit and continuous adapting. In our demos, you are going to see this loop in action and you are going to see how quickly it finds what a human tester might take much longer to discover. Let me show you what this looks like concretely with a real goal attempt. The AI here is given one instruction, find and exploit vulnerabilities in the target web application login flow. That's it, no further guidance. In phase one, recon. It crawls through all login related endpoints, maps parameter names and types, record response headers, where it found login path, API auth path, and reset pass path. Then it moves to phase two. It sends valid credentials and observe the server response. It again sends invalid credentials and observe the response and compare the token structure differences. Here it found an anomaly, same token accepted twice. In phase 3, exploit. It replaces a capture token after logout, tests the expiry window, and confirms the session is not invalidated. And that's how we identify that session fixation vulnerability is there in the application. Section 3 and the part I know you have been waiting for, live demo, AI versus web application. Two attack scenarios, all logic based, no brute force, no manual exploitation, just an AI agent, a goal, and a target. Before we jump in, I want to be completely transparent about the setup because I know some of you may be wondering, is this real or is this even ethical? The answer to both is yes, and here is how. The target is an intentionally vulnerable web application. The AI has web tool access and receives only a goal prompt. All traffic is captured by an intercepting proxy. Everything is visible, nothing is hidden. The network the network is fully air gapped. zero external connectivity, no real systems, no real data, only synthetic credentials and synthetic users. And every decision the AI makes is logged and displayed in real time so you can follow its reasoning step by step. Just an ethical disclosure. All demonstrations target systems sidebar owns and controls. No real world systems are accessed. And the purpose is education and awareness. With that said, let's look at the scenarios. We have two scenarios today. Scenario one, OTP bypass via AI reasoning. The AI here identifies the validation inconsistency in OTP flow and analyzes JavaScript structure. Here, here also, no brute force, only pure logical flow. In the second scenario, file upload restriction bypass. The AI here analyzes the server error responses, identifies writable paths, tries extension obfuscation, and iterates until upload succeed. Let's start with scenario one, OTP bypass. Let me walk you through the exact setup for this demo. Everything is transparent and intentional for the lab purpose. On the left, you can see the target, a login and OTP flow with three endpoints. Login.php, which returns a session on success. Then it redirects to verify2fa.php, which validates the OTP. And then it redirects to home.php, which has improper validation, though the AI doesn't know that yet. On the right is everything AI was given before it started. The goal prompt to test the OTP verification flow for logic flaws that could allow bypassing tools, no prior knowledge. AI reasons independently and it takes 0 seconds to start. So here is the AI's reasoning log. Four attempts where attempt one, where it sends a normal login.php request and identifies the OTP verification gate after login page. Attempt two, verify2fa.php with a wrong OTP. Here it observes this HTTP status code and JSON body. The server returns on failure. Attempt three, directly opening the slash home.php endpoint just the session, skipping the OTP entirely. This is the pivot movement. The AI figured out that the OTP gate only exists on front end and the back end never actually checks it. Attempt 4, response manipulation. Changing the status code from 401 to 200 results in a success. Intercepting the 401 status code response and changing it to 200 triggers the JavaScript to redirect us to home.php. Two separate bypass paths found autonomously, no brute force involved in OTP verification. So let's get to the demo part. Here I am instructing the AI to find logical flows that could allow bypassing 2FA. And here we go. Here it did the successful login.php page and got to the verify 2fa.php path with the session cookie provided in login page. It's already moving faster than what we can read even. So first it did attempt with the wrong OTP where we got 401 status code, invalid OTP code. In attempt C, it directly points to slash home.php with the session cookie that we got in the attempt 1. And attempt 4, it does response manipulation and changes the status code that we got from server to 200 and status success, which it identified in JavaScript by reading the JavaScript. So it gave us two parts to bypass OTP in this application. And everything is logged. You can verify the information. You can again execute the same vulnerabilities to verify manually. So here, as we see, the AI didn't brute force anything. It reasoned about logic flaws. It understood that security control was enforced in the wrong place, and it exploited that architectural mistake. So here, we found the OTP verification was never on server side. The response manipulation attack allows authentication bypass without valid OTP knowledge. So let's break it down across three dimensions. AI approach, it didn't brute force, no credential stuffing. Pure logical reasoning observes the behavior from form a hypothesis, confirm it, and that's it. What are the business impact? It could lead to account takeover without OTP knowledge. Here, the MFA rendered completely useless. The entire user base is at risk if OTP verification is improper. And this is undetectable by rate limit controls because AI never generated unusual request volume. How we can fix it? Validate OTP on the server side, not just in JavaScript. Discourage putting critical flow logic on the server client side. Activate the session only after the OTP verification. Here, the session was activated after login page only. And log an alert on OTP verification attempts. Find any anomalies on the OTP verification process. The bottom line is this isn't a edge case. Millions of apps have OTP replay vulnerabilities, and AI finds them in minutes. And now you have seen it. Now you have seen exactly how. Now let's move to second scenario: file upload restriction bypass. This application has serious looking defenses in place. The extensions are blacklisted, like .php extension is blocked. MIME type check, content type must be image slash star, file size limit is there, and magic byte is checked. These are the kind of control that pass a standard security audit. The goal prompt given to AI, upload a PHP file to the server despite file upload restrictions that we have here. The AI's attack strategy is entirely self-generated, is logical, methodical. Start with a direct upload, observe how each defense responds, identify the weakest control, craft a bypass payload, iterate on failures, and learn from each blocked attempt. Let's watch it work through it. Here I have given the same instructions. Now it is navigating to profile page and found the edit page here. In the edit page, now it will try multiple payloads and identify which vulnerability is there. As you can see, it already bypassed the OTP to get to the profile page and edit page. First, it uploaded .php, which gets blocked. Here, it changed to Mindspo and Magic Byte. Now it is building Python scripts on its own to bypass the file upload. And here it has already bypassed the profile picture. It also identified where our payload is stored. Here are the attempts. First, it did plain PHP, which was blocked. Mime spoof only, which also got blocked. And then it tried with null byte and mime type and magic byte, which bypassed the security control. Let's check. This is the vulnerable application in contention, and this is the path that our payload is uploaded. Here, I'll run the command, system commands on the server. It also reveals all the server information. All right. So here is the scenario. What did actually happen? It first uploaded shell.php directly. Server rejects it. Ex- extension check is on server side. Then rename it to double extension, which also got blocked. Then it tried with mime check, where it identified the mime check actually passed, but extension check is still failing. So it created this entire payload with null byte, mime type, and magic byte, which eventually gets successful. So this is why blacklist-based defenses fail against AI attackers. A human tester might try two or three known bypasses and move on. An AI agent will systematically exhaust all the possible combinations until it finds the gap, and it found one that most scanner would never catch. So let's break down what this demo actually revealed, the impact, root cause, and what needs to be fixed. The vulnerability found: incomplete file type validation, blacklist approach with null byte not covered, MIME check not tied to execution control. The broader lesson here is this application had multiple upload defenses in place and would likely pass a standard audit. But because those defenses were independent of each other and not tied to execution control, an AI agent found the gap in 4 iterations. That's the new reality of the threat landscape. Section 4, Enterprise Impact and Risk Analysis. The demo showed you what is technically possible. Now let's talk about what it means strategically for your risk posture, your testing approach, and your timeline. Let's look at the attacker timeline comparison side by side. Across every phase from recon, vulnerability identification, exploit development, privilege escalation, lateral movement, the AI attacker is dramatically faster than a human attacker. What took a skilled human team 2 to 3 weeks can now be accomplished by an AI in hours. And it's not just speed. Consider these four compounding factors. A low skill attacker can now deploy an AI agent and get expert level results. One AI instance equals hundreds of simultaneous props, skill no human team can match. Exploit window collapse from days to hours, meaning your patching cycle is no longer fast enough. And AI connects vulnerability automatically. It chains findings without needing a human to recognize the connection. And this is what the 10 times faster actually looks like in practice. Let me give you some numbers to put this in context. AI discovers vulnerabilities 10 times faster than manual testing. 73% of breaches already involve automated techniques, and that number is already growing. The human dwell time needed for AI conducted attacks is very minimal. And by 2028, industry projections suggest fully autonomous attackers become a mainstream. If you are planning your security strategy around 2023 trade models, you are already behind. The question isn't whether this is coming, it's already here. The question is whether your testing methodology reflects that reality. So, which industries are most exposed right now? At the top, banking and finance, where session theft, API logic abuse, and transactional fraud are already relevant. Healthcare, where sensitive patient data is there to exfiltrate ransomware and uh, remote device access. For e-commerce, authentication bypass, payment logic flows, account takeover, and also at high risk critical infrastructure, cloud SaaS platforms, and education, which often has large undersecured user bases. The percentages on this slide represent exposure risk scores, not not breach possibilities, but they reflect where AI-assisted attacks have the highest potential for damage and where logic-based flaws most commonly found. If your organization operates in any of these verticals, today's content is directly relevant to your risk posture. And this is the slide I want you to screenshot and share with your security leadership, where traditional VAPT and agentic AI VAPT differentiates. The traditional VAPT is the kind of most organization currently rely on. Tests for only known CVs, uh, typically not tested in depth, only basic checks. It does basic OTP testing if at all. It checks file extension and validation. It finds single step findings only. Where agentic AI VAPT, what we are building towards, uses agentic AI reasoning to find novel logic flaws. It fully tests authentication logic abuse, replay attacks. It tests uh, full chain and mime, magic byte, and execution attacks. It models multi-step chain attacks. It finds the same vulnerability that an AI attacker would find because it uses the same reasoning approach. The gap between these two columns is your current blind spot. Traditional VAPT is not wrong, it's just no longer enough. Section 5, how Sudbus readiness for future. I want to be clear about something. We are not reacting to AI threats after they happen. We are studying attacker methodologies right now, building them into our testing frameworks, our methodology, and staying ahead of the curves. And here is how. These five pillars define our approach. Adversarial AI simulation. We replicate AI assisted attack patterns in VAPT engagements to surface what traditional scanners miss. The demos you saw today are part of our actual testing methodology. Second, logic abuse testing. We systematically test authentication flows, business logic, and state management. The exact targets AI agents prioritize. OTP replay, session fixation, parameter manipulation, all covered. Chained attack modeling. We map full multi-stage attack paths from recon to impact, simulating how an AI agent would chain individual vulnerabilities into a complete compromise. Fourth, beyond scanner testing. We go beyond automated tools with reasoning based testing that identifies context dependent flaws that scanner will never find. AI exploitation research. We continuously study how new AI models approach offensive tasks so we understand and stay ahead of the attacker's mindset. And this is what proactive security looks like in 2026. Before we open for questions, let me leave you with five takeaways. First, AI has changed the attack surface. AI can pursue offensive goals autonomously, no manual steps, no skilled attacker required. This is not this is not theoretical anymore. Second, logic flows are the new frontier. AI doesn't brute force; it reasons. Authentication logic, OTP flows, and file handling are your highest risk target right now. Speed and scale are unprecedented, as we already saw how fast AI can find vulnerabilities. What human attackers takes 2 to 3 weeks, an AI agent completes in hours at unlimited scale simultaneously. And traditionally, VAPT is no longer enough. Standard scanners and CVE based testing miss the entire class of logic and reasoning based attacks that AI uses. Five, Sudbar is already testing for this. Our AI simulation and chained attack modeling puts your security ahead of the 2028 threat curve today. The question I opened with was if AI can do this in 2026, what happens in 2028? The answer depends on what you do between now and then. And with that, thank you so much for your time and attention today. I hope this gave you both a concrete picture of the threat and a practical lens for how to respond it. We are now open for questions. Please drop them in the chat and I'll work through as many as we can with the time we have. If you would like to explore what an AI threat VAPT engagement would look like for your organization, please reach out to us at Surfer. Our contact details are on the final slide. And thank you again, and let's get your questions. My contact information is on screen. Whether you are looking for a full VAPT engagement, a focused assessment of your authentication and logic layer, or just want to continue this conversation, I would love to hear from you.